I can see it like a movie in my dreams. Put my face in the dirt on the ground, still I raise up to take back the crown. Yes, you can break my body, but you can't lock the soul of a man down.
Follow your dreams, not your addictions. How we gon' follow our dreams locked in a prison? They try to swallow me whole, God be my witness. Deprive me out of my dreams, but I'm relentless. I want the money, ain't never want attention, so I don't pay attention to comments and all the mentions.
Right up here, where we going at now, this is our elementary school. Football field, swimming pool. There used to be a basketball court over there where that playground is. This is kind of like where we spent most of our time inside of the rec center, outside of the rec center. It was kind of a home for us. Like, this is
where we spent the majority of our leisure time.
Yep. Once upon a time, that Family Dollar right there used to be a whole strip. Yep. Some of our favorite carryouts, Marco Polo, Chinese store, and that was a Family Dollar. Right here in this area, we spent a lot of time up here too. Got into a lot of trouble up here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this is it.
And you know, I think this is the importance of the event, man, because it gives an opportunity to.
Hey, big fella. At 11 o'clock, go around the corner right there in front of the rec. We giving away food baskets for the holiday.
And tell
anybody around hood.
You said 11 o'clock?
11 o'clock.
Food pantries, like we ate meals in this church. We did Bible study with Sister Strange. We played on the church basketball team. It was a Coach Johnson. He was like more than a savior.
Yes, he was
to us, man. He wrapped arms around us. He required us to meet academic standards.
Yeah.
And he rewarded us for it. He was the first person to show me that doing things the right way, you can be rewarded for doing things the right way. You don't have to be, on the corner and make it fast. That he was one of the biggest reasons that I wanted to be a scholar athlete, because the better our grades was, he rewarded us, and he instilled in me that, that hard work and that perseverance, it pays off. 3816, one of the houses that we grew up. We're going to take you to the other one. So, long story short here, Big M house. She was a mother to all of us. So, one of our best friends, Squirrel, his mom, Big M, that was her house right there, and me and Rob pretty much moved in here, and we all lived in here through our high school years. So in between this house right here and Moore's house, who we going to next, who was our grandmother, between those two places, we lived all together in between those two homes.
And had everything we needed.
All
we might not have had what we wanted, but we had everything. Between those two women, they made sure we had everything we needed.
Murph house right there.
The Murphys. Everybody know them.
Ain't no question. My cousins.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. It's a beautiful thing for us to be able to give back to our community. I mean, like, we are all in a position now where we built lives and we have families and we have a lot to be proud of. And a lot of that came from the upbringing in this neighborhood right here. Like the values that were instilled in us by the people in this community right here allowed us to be, entrepreneurs and family men and be able to create, generational wealth for our families, create a legacy and give back to our community.
And she brought us up here, two little wild, bad little boys that was out of control, and she trained us. She gave me everything that I needed to become a man, to be able to raise a family. She instilled in me the morals and principles of what it took to be what I am today. And, I'm grateful for that. And she also took my friends. This door right here was open to anybody.
All of us.
Anybody, at any given time.
Like, we literally lived here. Like, we resided here between the house, 3816 Fairview, and 4233 Norfolk. We lived in these two homes right here. Moore opened her door up to all of us. She fed us, she clothed us, she picked us up from practice, she took us to practice, she did whatever she needed to do to make sure we weren't caught up in the streets and we had a chance to make it out here in this world. Send them around the wreck. 11 to 1.
Even if y'all don't need them, y'all know some families that do. Come get them, bro.
You talking 11? Yeah, right there.
Right in the front end. Yeah. From 11 to 1. Pain.
So Miss Payne was my grandmother's best friend. So that's how deep we go.
Grandmother.
That's how deep we go.
That's why we said this corridor is very important, because it's people. When they say it take a village to raise a family, that's no lie. Between Big M, my grandmother, Miss Payne, it's so many entities that made us successful in their own little way that they just have no idea. You know what I mean? And they still in the neighborhood. They still in the neighborhood, and they still doing the same thing.
Yep.
Miss Payne got her grandchildren, her great grands, and her great grands, and she still got her hands on them.
And you know what is the way that they wrapped arms around us and nurtured us. I think that's a big reason why we started the programs that we started, because we understand the impact of giving back. Because if they didn't invest in us, we wouldn't have the ability to invest in other people. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. This convenience store right here, Beck's. This right here is called New York Wave Deli Grocery. Nah, we know BEXX, Beck's Grocery Store. Yeah, man, I used to steal out that one all the time. Man, listen, y'all hear me? I was a 5-finger. I ain't have a whole lot of money, but I figured out a way to get everything I needed. You heard me? They know that about me. They say, look, Mookie, listen, we need to get this and we ain't got it. I say, y'all do the diversion and I'll come out with the rest of it. We good. When we go up here on the right here, most of y'all know the rapping guy Carlos Coleman right here. You see this house right there? King Los.
Live right here.
It's my cousin. He live right here, across the street. Grandmother he grew up right here in this house right here. And on this side, 3804, right there, that was my grandmother's house. So me and Los spent so much time together right across the street. And then when I left my grandmother's house, I went around to 3816 and 4233 Norfolk, and I lived there for pretty much my whole high school years.
This a milestone for us. This library right here, a lot of people probably take this library as being a place for education, but my mother spent a lot of time right here. And anybody that know this area know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I spent a lot of time right here. So along with the memories, there's a lot of pain that come along with the success stories that we have. You know what I mean? Being involved in situations where you have to experience what drug addiction looks like firsthand is enough to destroy somebody. You know, but I never let it deter my dreams or destroy me. Instead, I use it as a form of motivation, and I knew what I never wanted to be.
Right.
So.
Right. He hit it.
That's why it's important to address your mental health. Yeah. Right? Because these things that we pick up within the communities that we lived in, this stuff carry on with us for the rest of our life.
Forever.
And oftentimes we grow up as strong individuals, so we're taught how to bury stuff. We're taught how to repress things. However, when we're alone and when we're with ourselves, we still have our mindset. And we got to deal with that stuff. And so it's important to know that it's okay to sit down on the couch and talk to somebody. Get it up out.
As we said before, we spent a lot of time in this rec center, so we gonna take y'all in this gym where we had these crazy house leagues. We had one house league, shorty. We was all on different teams. House league loaded. Oh man, Mr. Doug, shout out to Mr. Doug, Mr. Flag. This right here, this rec center is pretty much where I spent all of my time right here. This gym right here is where I cultivated my skills right here. I went to this elementary school and this rec center. This the high basket, this the regular basket. Beware the stage, you might get ran into the stage. I grew up in this rec center. I started playing 4 years old in here. This is pretty much where I fell in love with basketball, right here in this gym right here. I was about 13. I started playing with the men. They allowed me to get on the court. I was the smallest thing out there. They roughed me up. That's where I got my toughness from. And I carried it ever since. Played with that chip on my shoulder. Tumbling team, we used to flip on the stage. Matter of fact, that was the same mat right here. That look like it? Shantae, look at these mats right here. Shantae, look at this mat. This mat right here looked like when I was on the tumbling team.
No, they got new ones.
Look at that thing.
It's new ones.
Shantae was like she was like my big sister. Her mother, Miss Oliver, raised me.
Yes,
Shantae used to
indeed.
keep me out of trouble because I was the baddest thing in the rec center.
Yes, he was. Lord have mercy. And look at him. Positive.
I lived in this place right
Yes,
here.
we all did.
Crazy.
I just told my son the same thing.
Crazy. We
This
spent
is
all of our
everything.
time in this building right here.
Yes.
This bathroom. Let me show you this bathroom. When I was little, this bathroom was forbidden. I thought it was a hidden treasure in here. They kept this door closed so much. And you mean to tell me only thing was in here was this right here? And they hid this from me. Let me show you where they made me go to bathroom. This is where they made me. Come on, man. They made me go up in here. And they had this hidden treasure over here that they kept away from me. I thought it was a golden throne in here when I was little. This door was never open.
My name is Teresa Brown, and Darnell Divers Mookie, my son, we grew up in this area. And it does me proud to see that the impact that Mookie has in this community. He's done a lot. He shows up for all the kids. And just to see him give back and the love that he brings back to the community. Because sometimes we struggle around here. We need young men to show up for these boys to let them know that it doesn't always have to be the way society sometimes looks at us. You know, he's a living proof that change is possible, and we need more men to encourage these boys to, you know, to give back, let them know that anything is possible.
I witnessed a lot of things that the actions that I have been involved in have impacted my community. So now that I'm of a different status in life and understand, you know, like sowing seeds of promise, I felt like as much as I took, it was time for me to give it back.
Just to be a part of something like this, you know, this is a way to help ease the mental health of individuals, because we know a lot of stigma as it relates to mental health, especially in this community. You know, people will shy away from it. They don't want to address it, you know, so along with giving them a lot of the food within the bags, we also put mental health literature in there.
And then I felt as though when I was done playing ball and when I was done college, that it was my duty to pour into other people. You know what I mean? So it's full circle for me, and I think the more we get out and we do things in the community, I think the younger generation will understand that it's impactful and it's cool.